Yeah, I mean, I couldn't agree more. I've seen the same thing. Talking with friends, seeing patients in person, it's rare to hear a guy like just come out and say, "Hey, I'm struggling with this," or, "What do you think about this?" Usually, especially for me in the office, I have to really poke and prod quite a bit, and have to develop a decent relationship with guys to for them to actually open up about this subject. But I've seen the same thing online as well. I'm part of a few men's groups, and it's just you see a ton more of this on those groups, guys just kind of reaching out, going, "Man, I'm really struggling. I'm having suicidal thoughts, or I'm just
Mhm.
really depressed, or like, what do I do? I have no idea like where to go from here."
Yeah, no, exactly. And not only do I see it in men's groups, but I see it in practice too. So my undergrad is actually in psychology, and I have a great love for psychology. And so I spent 4 years studying anxiety, depression, bipolar, and so I try to work that a lot into my practice because this is something, especially with guys, that just doesn't get talked about enough. So I'm excited about hearing some numbers and
Yeah.
statistics because I know that you are always ready with the numbers and statistics. I should say. So tell us about
I uh, I do like pulling out the stats because, every time we talk about a subject, my first question is always like, "Well, how prevalent is this? How much of this is really, like, out there, and how significant is it on our health?" So, let me throw a few stats at you guys. So, the CDC reports that about 13.3% of men have been diagnosed with some form of depression at some point in their lives. Now, granted, I think most of these are going to be very conservative numbers.
it.
One, because most men don't go to their physicians or their healthcare providers to be diagnosed. And two, if they are to, you know, divulge this kind of information, usually it's not until it gets pretty bad.
Yeah.
Next up is according to a 2023 Gallup survey, 29% of US adults reported being diagnosed with depression in their lifetime. That's up from 19.6 back in 2015. So that's all adults, not just men. But you can see that huge jump. That's a 10% jump in that period of time in
Mhm.
less than 10 years. Granted, we had the pandemic during that time period. So it's not surprising that it did go up, but still 10% from a full like US population. That's a huge amount of people.
It is.
Um, yeah. And then the percentage of adults currently experiencing or being treated for depression increased from 10.5% in 2015 to 17.8% in 2023. So again, this kind of corresponds with that previous number. It's a pretty big jump there. It's a little bit more than 7% jump just in people who are being treated.
Mhm.
And then lifetime depression rates in men increased from 17.7% in 2017 to 20.4% in 2023. Again, not too much of an increase there. I mean, it's almost 3%, but at the same time, I'd speculate that this is probably pretty conservative. And interesting, this is really kind of what what astonished me was young adults ages 18 to 29, their lifetime depression rates increased from 20.4% to 34.3%. So you're
Wow.
seeing a 14 point, percentage rate increase there in that time period. And that's just in a 6-year time period. So
Yeah.
those are pretty significant. That's like I said, for men especially, I think those are really conservative numbers, and even being conservative, that that's still alarming.